The rain-slicked pavement of the small-town church parking lot gleamed under the streetlights as Emily slammed the car door, her father's Bible thumping against the dashboard like a judge's gavel. "You're not my daughter if you choose this path." His voice echoed in her mind, the words from their explosive argument still burning like fresh wounds. But as she collapsed against the steering wheel, sobbing, a soft knock on the window revealed Aunt Sarah's concerned face, the one person who might understand the storm raging inside her. Emily had always been the perfect daughter in the eyes of Reverend Thomas Harper. Growing up in the sleepy suburb of Willow Creek, Virginia, where the church bells rang like clockwork every Sunday, she learned early on that faith wasn't just a belief, it was a blueprint for life. Her father, with his stern jaw and unyielding sermons on traditional values, had molded her into the image of piety, straight A's, youth group leader, and dating only the right boys from the congregation. But deep down, Emily felt like a puzzle with pieces that didn't fit. At 22, fresh out of community college and working at the local library, she was still trying to convince herself that her lingering glances at women were just phases, nothing more than admiration. It started innocently enough. Emily's mother, Grace, had passed away from cancer when Emily was just 12, leaving a void that her father filled with even more rigid devotion. That's when Aunt Sarah stepped in, not a blood relative, but Grace's closest friend from their college days at UVA. Sarah, a successful art gallery owner in nearby Richmond, became Emily's unofficial mentor. She'd swoop in for holidays, bringing books on literature and feminism that her father would eye suspiciously but never outright ban. "Your mom would want you to see the world beyond these church walls," Sarah would say with a wink, her warm brown eyes sparkling under her cropped silver hair. One crisp autumn afternoon, Emily confided in Sarah over coffee at a quaint diner off Route 1. "Dad set me up with Jason from church again. He's nice, but I don't feel anything." Her voice cracked, the weight of unspoken truth pressing down. Sarah reached across the table, her hand lingering a moment too long on Emily's. "Sometimes, sweetheart, the heart knows what the mind denies. Give it time." Emily nodded, grateful for the advice that didn't come laced with scripture. Little did she know, Sarah's words carried layers she couldn't yet peel back. As weeks turned to months, Emily's internal conflict escalated. She tried harder to be normal, attending Bible studies, even going on a few awkward dates with Jason, who talked endlessly about starting a family. But at night, she'd scroll through social media, her feed filled with stories of women loving women, and a quiet ache would bloom in her chest. Sarah became her lifeline, inviting her to Richmond for weekend escapes. They'd wander art exhibits, Sarah explaining the hidden meanings in paintings of forbidden loves from history. "Art is about truth, Emily, even when it's messy." One evening, after a particularly inspiring show featuring queer artists, they sat on Sarah's balcony overlooking the James River. The city lights twinkled like stars, and Emily felt a pull she couldn't ignore. "Aunt Sarah, have you ever felt different?" Sarah paused, her wine glass hovering midair. "Different how?" Emily's heart raced. "Like, maybe not into men." Sarah's expression softened, a flicker of something vulnerable crossing her face. "Yes, darling. I have. And I am." The admission hung in the air, electric and terrifying. Emily's world tilted. Sarah, the poised, independent woman she'd idolized, was gay? It was a revelation that both thrilled and scared her. From there, their bond deepened. Sarah shared stories of her youth in the 80s, navigating a conservative South while hiding her relationships. "Your mom knew," she said one day casually, as they baked cookies in Sarah's kitchen. Emily froze. "Mom knew? About you?" Sarah nodded. "We were roommates in college. She was my rock when I came out to myself." Emily's mind reeled. Had her mother, the epitome of the devoted wife, harbored such a secret friend? It made Emily feel less alone, but also stirred questions about her own family. Meanwhile, back in Willow Creek, Reverend Harper grew suspicious. "You've been spending a lot of time with Sarah," he remarked over dinner one night, his fork pausing mid-bite. "She's not filling your head with those liberal ideas, is she?" Emily forced a smile. "No, Dad. She's just helping me figure out my path." But the lie tasted bitter. She was falling for Sarah's wisdom, her laugh, the way she made Emily feel seen. Was it admiration or something more? The first crack appeared during Thanksgiving. Sarah joined them as always, but tension simmered. When Emily and Sarah shared a quiet moment washing dishes, their hands brushed, and Emily felt a spark. Later that night, alone in her room, she replayed it endlessly. "This can't be happening," she whispered to her reflection. But it was. The pull toward Sarah was undeniable, a mix of mentorship morphing into affection. As winter set in, Emily's double life intensified. She'd drive to Richmond under the guise of job hunting, but really to spend time with Sarah. They talked for hours about identity, love, and loss. Sarah opened up about a past lover who'd left her heartbroken, and Emily shared her fears of disappointing her father. "He'd disown me," she admitted tearfully. Sarah pulled her into a hug, the embrace lingering, warm, and comforting. In that moment, Emily realized her feelings weren't just gratitude. They were romantic. But doubt crept in. Was Sarah reciprocating, or was Emily projecting? Sarah was 48, worldly. Emily was young, confused. Yet small gestures, a lingering touch, a shared secret smile hinted at more. One snowy evening, as they watched a classic film, Sarah turned to her. "Emily, you're special to me. More than you know." Emily's breath caught. Was this the start of something beautiful, or the edge of a cliff? The holidays passed in a blur of forced cheer, but Emily's secret world with Sarah blossomed like hidden spring flowers. By early spring, their meetings felt charged with unspoken tension. Emily found excuses to visit Richmond more often, claiming internships at galleries. Sarah welcomed her with open arms, their conversations delving deeper into personal territories. "Tell me about your first crush," Sarah asked one afternoon as they strolled through Maymont Park, the blooming azaleas painting the landscape in pinks and whites. Emily blushed. "It was a girl in high school. Katie. I thought it was just friendship." Sarah smiled knowingly. The heart whispers before it shouts. That day, as they sat on a bench overlooking the Japanese gardens, Sarah's hand found Emily's. No words were needed. The connection was palpable. Emily's pulse quickened. This was no longer mentorship. It was the stirrings of love, tentative and thrilling. Back home, the facade cracked further. Jason, sensing her distance, confronted her after church. "Emily, what's going on? You seem elsewhere." She mumbled excuses, but guilt gnawed at her. Her father, ever vigilant, pulled her aside. "I've been praying for you. Something's off." "Is it Sarah? She's always been too progressive." Emily defended her fiercely. "She's family, Dad. Mom trusted her." The mention of Grace softened him momentarily, but suspicion lingered. As summer approached, Emily and Sarah's bond intensified. They spent a weekend at Virginia Beach, walking the boardwalk under the sun. Sarah rented a cozy cottage, and over wine by the ocean, confessions flowed. "I've felt this way about you for a while," Sarah admitted, her voice trembling. Emily's eyes widened. "Me too. But, Dad, the church." Sarah cupped her face. "Love isn't a sin, Emily. It's human." Their first kiss was gentle under the stars, a moment of pure vulnerability. No rush, no pressure, just two souls connecting. But paradise was short-lived. Whispers started in Willow Creek. A church member saw them together in Richmond holding hands. Rumors reached Reverend Harper, who confronted Emily in a rage. "Is this true? Are you involved with her?" Emily denied it, tears streaming, but the seed of doubt was planted. She fled to Sarah, who held her as she sobbed. "We'll figure this out," Sarah promised. Yet, Emily sensed hesitation in her voice. The turning point came during a family dinner Sarah attended to smooth things over. As they cleared plates, Emily overheard her father and Sarah in the study. "You promised you'd never tell her," her father hissed. Emily froze outside the door. "Tell her what?" Sarah's voice was sharp. "About Grace and me." Emily's world shattered. Pushing the door open, she demanded, "What about Mom?" The truth unraveled like a frayed thread. Sarah and Grace had been more than friends in college. They'd been lovers. A brief, passionate affair before Grace met Thomas and chose the straight path for family and faith. Sarah had stepped back, heartbroken, but remained close as a friend. "I loved your mother," Sarah confessed, tears in her eyes. But she chose him. And I respected that. Emily felt betrayed. You knew all this time? And you let me fall for you. Sarah reached for her. It wasn't like that. My feelings for you are real, separate from the past. But Emily pulled away, storming out. The drive home was a blur of anger and hurt. How could Sarah hide this? Was their connection just an echo of her lost love for Grace? The fallout was swift. Reverend Harper, furious at the revelation, banned Sarah from their lives. She's poisoned our family, he thundered. Emily, torn, retreated into isolation. She ignored Sarah's calls, wrestling with the pain of betrayal. Yet memories haunted her, the tenderness, the understanding. Was it all a lie? Weeks dragged on. Emily threw herself into church activities, trying to reclaim her old self. But the emptiness grew. Jason proposed, sensing her vulnerability, but she turned him down gently. I can't pretend anymore. Her father beamed at first, thinking it a sign of devotion, but when she confessed her feelings for women, his face darkened. This is the devil's work. Sarah did this to you. In desperation, Emily drove to Richmond one stormy night. Sarah opened the door looking weary. Why didn't you tell me sooner? Emily demanded. Sarah sighed. I didn't want to tarnish your memory of your mom. And I was scared it'd push you away. They talked through the night, peeling back layers of hurt. Sarah shared letters from Grace, proving their love was real but sacrificed for societal norms. Your mom wanted a different life for you, one of freedom. Emily's anger softened into understanding. The betrayal stung, but it humanized Sarah and her mother. I still love you, Emily whispered. Sarah pulled her close. And I you. But we have to face this together. Reconciliation wasn't easy. Emily returned home with a fragile resolve, but her father's wrath awaited. If you choose this abomination, you're no longer welcome here, he declared, his voice echoing through the house like a sermon of condemnation. Emily packed a bag, tears blurring her vision, and left for Sarah's. The drive felt like exile, the familiar roads now symbols of loss. In Richmond, Sarah welcomed her with open arms, but the weight of family fracture hung heavy. They built a new routine. Emily found work at Sarah's gallery, curating exhibits that celebrated diverse voices. Their relationship deepened, filled with quiet moments. Cooking dinners, reading poetry, exploring the city's hidden gems. Sarah's patience was a balm, helping Emily navigate her identity. Coming out is a journey, not a destination, she'd say. But doubts lingered. Was Emily rushing into this to escape her past? And what of the hidden secrets' ripple effects? High drama erupted when old letters surfaced. While sorting Grace's belongings Emily had brought, she found a journal. Entries detailed Grace's turmoil, her love for Sarah, the pressure to conform, her marriage as a compromise. I chose safety over passion, Grace wrote. But my heart never forgot. Emily confronted Sarah again. Did Dad know? Sarah nodded grimly. He suspected. That's why he's so hard on you. He fears history repeating. The revelation fueled Emily's anger toward her father. She wrote him a letter, pouring out her truth. I'm gay, Dad. And I love Sarah. Mom's secret doesn't change that. No response came, only silence that cut deeper than words. Meanwhile, their relationship faced external pressures. At a gallery opening, a conservative client recognized Emily and spread gossip back to Willow Creek. The church community shunned her family name, and Reverend Harper's congregation dwindled slightly, blaming modern sins. Internal conflicts arose too. Sarah, haunted by her past loss, sometimes pulled away. I don't want to be the reason you lose everything, she'd say during late-night talks. Emily reassured her, but insecurities festered. One night, after a heated argument about commitment, Emily stormed out, wandering Richmond streets. She ended up at a LGBTQ+ support group, sharing her story anonymously. Hearing others' tales of betrayal and redemption strengthened her. The climax built during a summer festival in Willow Creek. Emily, emboldened, decided to confront her father publicly. Sarah accompanied her, tense but supportive. At the church picnic, whispers followed them. Reverend Harper approached, face stern. What are you doing here? Emily stood tall. I'm your daughter. and this is who I am. The crowd hushed as she revealed the family secret, not to shame but to humanize. Mom loved Sarah once. And you loved Mom enough to build a life. Can't you love me the same? Her father faltered, the weight of years crashing down. I knew about grace. It broke me. I thought strict faith would protect you. Tears welled in his eyes, a rare vulnerability. Sarah stepped forward. Thomas, we've all made sacrifices. But love isn't zero-sum. The moment hung, charged with potential healing. But betrayal struck from an unexpected angle. Jason, spurned and bitter, had been digging. He confronted Emily privately. I found old photos, Sarah, and your mom. If this gets out, it'll destroy your dad. Emily pleaded, but Jason, fueled by hurt, leaked them to the local paper. The scandal exploded. Reverend's family secrets exposed. Willow Creek buzzed with judgment. Emily felt the ground shift. How could he? She raged to Sarah. The media frenzy forced her father into seclusion. His sermons cancelled. Sarah, reliving her own past exposure, withdrew emotionally. This is my fault, she murmured. Their relationship strained under the pressure. Arguments flaring over blame and future. In the midst of chaos, Emily sought solace in therapy, unpacking layers of grief. She realized the betrayal wasn't just Jason's. It was a chain. Grace's hidden love. Her father's denial, Sarah's omission. We all hide to survive, her therapist said. Emily began bridging gaps, visiting her father unannounced. He opened the door looking aged. I miss you, he admitted. They talked haltingly about grace, faith, and forgiveness. Sarah joined a session, the three facing the past together. Revelations poured. Sarah's regret, Thomas's fear, Emily's pain. It wasn't instant harmony, but seeds of understanding sprouted. I can't change overnight, her father said. But I'll try. As fall leaves turned, healing progressed. Emily and Sarah recommitted. Their love tempered by trials. The scandal faded, replaced by quiet acceptance in some circles. Emily curated an exhibit on hidden loves, drawing crowds and sparking dialogues. With the scandal's dust settling, Emily and Sarah navigated a new normal. Their home in Richmond became a sanctuary, filled with art and laughter. Emily pursued a degree in art history online, inspired by Sarah's passion. But echoes of betrayal lingered, testing their bond. Sarah, scarred from past heartbreaks, sometimes questioned Emily's youth. Are you sure this is what you want? Not just rebellion. Emily would reaffirm. It's you. Always you. Reconciliation with her father inched forward. Weekly calls turned to visits. He attended a Piaphology meeting, awkward but earnest. I'm learning, he'd say, quoting progressive theologians. Emily saw glimpses of the man her mother loved, kind beneath the dogma. One evening over tea he shared a photo album. Your mom was my world. Losing her, I clung to faith too tightly. Tears bridged the gap, humanizing him. Drama resurfaced when an old flame of Sarah's appeared. Lydia, a charismatic artist from New York, visited the gallery for a collaboration. Her flirtations with Sarah stirred jealousy in Emily. Is there history? She asked pointedly. Sarah admitted, we dated briefly years ago. But it's over. Yet, Lydia's presence unearthed insecurities. During a heated exhibit prep, Emily overheard them laughing intimately. Doubt festered. Was Sarah reliving her youth through Emily, echoing her love for Grace? The confrontation boiled over at a dinner party. Are you using me to forget Mom? Emily accused, voice cracking. Guests excused themselves awkwardly. Sarah, hurt, retorted. How can you say that? I've given everything. Emily fled to a hotel, spending the night in turmoil. Messages from Sarah flooded her phone. Please come home. We need to talk. Morning brought clarity. Emily returned, finding Sarah poring over old journals. Read this, Sarah said, handing one. Entries detailed Sarah's post-Grace life. Loneliness, then hope with Emily. You're not a replacement. You're my future. They embraced, vowing transparency. Lydia's project wrapped quickly. No lingering threats. External conflicts mounted too. The church community split. Some supported Reverend Harper's evolution, others left. A rival pastor accused him of selling out to sin, leading to a public debate. Emily attended, heart-pounding. Her father defended. Love thy neighbor means all neighbors. My daughters taught me that. Applause mixed with boos, but it was progress. Emily's personal growth shone. She volunteered at a youth LGBTQ+ center, mentoring teens like her former self. One girl, Mia, mirrored her struggles. Religious parents' hidden feelings. How do you make them understand? Mia asked. Emily shared her story, emphasizing patience and self-love. It healed her own wounds, turning pain into purpose. As winter neared, a family milestone approached. Grace's birthday. They gathered at the cemetery, Emily, Sarah, and her father. Snowflakes fell softly as they shared memories. She'd be proud, her father said, glancing at Sarah with reluctant warmth. Of all of us. It was a tentative truce, laced with emotion. But true high drama hit during Christmas. Jason, remorseful, apologized via letter. I was hurt and wrong. Emily forgave, but the damage lingered. Then a health scare. Sarah collapsed at the gallery, diagnosed with exhaustion-fueled arrhythmia. Hospital vigils united them. Emily stayed by her side, her father visiting awkwardly. Take care of her, he told Emily. She's family now. Recovery strengthened their ties. Sarah proposed subtly with a vintage ring. Will you build a life with me? Emily accepted tearfully. They planned a small ceremony, inviting her father. He hesitated, then agreed to officiate, a profound shift. The wedding was intimate, in a Richmond park under blooming dogwoods. Vows exchanged amid tears and cheers. Her father pronounced them partners, voice steady. In love and faith. It wasn't perfect, some relatives boycotted, but it was real. Post-honeymoon, life settled into rhythm. Emily balanced work and studies. Sarah mentored emerging artists. Her father retired partially, focusing on inclusive ministries. Occasional tensions arose, but communication prevailed. Reflecting one evening on their balcony, Emily said, "We survived the storms." Sarah smiled. Because love endures. Their journey, from hidden secrets to open hearts, proved resilience's power. Years blended into a tapestry of growth and quiet joys. Emily and Sarah's marriage flourished, a beacon in Richmond's vibrant arts scene. They adopted a rescue dog, hosted community events, and traveled, visiting national parks, tracing American history's inclusive threads. Emily earned her degree, co-managing the gallery. Sarah, ever the mentor, encouraged her independence. Her relationship with her father evolved into something profound. He authored a book on faith and acceptance, dedicating it to Grace and Emily. "You've shown me God's love is boundless," he wrote. Family dinners became regular, awkwardness fading into affection. He even marched in a pride parade, sign reading "Proud Dad." But life wasn't without shadows. A conservative backlash in Virginia politics threatened rights, prompting Emily to advocate. She spoke at rallies, sharing her story. "I tried to be straight for my father, but truth set us free." Sarah stood beside her, their united front inspiring many. One challenge arose when Mia, the teen Emily mentored, faced family rejection. Emily intervened, offering temporary shelter. It mirrored her past, testing boundaries. Her father helped mediate, using his influence for reconciliation. "We've come full circle," Emily noted gratefully. Deeper emotions surfaced during anniversaries. On Grace's death day, they visited her grave. Sarah placed flowers, whispering, "Thank you for her." Emily felt peace. Understanding her mother's sacrifices paved her path. The story's humanistic core shone in everyday acts, forgiving betrayals, embracing flaws. Jason redeemed himself, becoming an ally. Lydia sent congratulations, closing old chapters. In a poignant twist, Emily discovered she was pregnant via donor, a decision born of love. Sarah beamed, "Our family grows." Her father, initially stunned, embraced grandfatherhood. A miracle, he called it. As the child arrived, a girl named Grace, the circle completed. Holding her, Emily reflected on the journey. From suppression to liberation, betrayal to trust. "Love wins," she whispered. The end wasn't fairy tale perfect. Struggles persisted. But in America's diverse landscape, Their story embodied hope. From Willow Creek's constraints to Richmond's freedoms, they proved humanity's capacity for change. Emily's legacy? A memoir, Hidden Hearts, chronicling it all. Readers wrote, "You gave me courage." Sarah illustrated the cover, their poster-like image symbolizing resilience. In twilight years they sat on that balcony, hands entwined. "Worth every tear," Sarah said. Emily agreed. Their love, dramatic, emotional, romantic, taught that secrets bind but truth heals.